Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, the hexagon FGHJKL was reflected across the x-axis to get the hexagon F prime, G prime, H prime, J prime, K prime, L prime. Which of the following rules best describes this transformation? Okay, so what I'm looking for is the rule, okay, that describes what happened here, right? Which is a transformation. Now, one thing that is very important is you need to know what kind of reflection is happening. So it says that it was reflected, and it says up here, across the x-axis. So what that means is this. You're going to come back to the graph or to the grid that is given to you. We are going to highlight the x. Why? Because once I highlight the x, then every point is going to need to cross that x-axis. Okay? Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take one of those points, okay, as the reference. So for example, let's go ahead and choose J. Okay, so the coordinates for J are 2 and positive 2. Is that right? So this is what I chose students to do. Pretend you are J, right? That point, it's you. So you're going to walk towards the x-axis, okay? And the first thing you're going to do, of course, is you're going to count how many steps until you reach the x-axis. So we go 1 and 2. Is that right? So once you reach the x-axis, you need to cross it, okay? Because you want to be on the other side. But you want to be on the other side exactly as many steps as you were before you move, right? So we're going to count 2 once I reach the x, and that will be my new point. So this will be J prime, okay? So what I want you to do is find me the coordinates for J prime, and maybe we can see a relationship here. So the point J prime, the coordinates will be positive 2, but the next one is negative 2. Okay, this is my X, this is my Y value. So I don't know if you see a connection, but if you're still not there yet, we can go ahead and look at, for example, L. Okay, so the coordinates for L are negative 9 and positive 2. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to tell L to walk towards the x-axis, right? And it's going to walk 1 and 2. But you're not going to stop there. You want to cross the x-axis because it is a reflection across the x-axis. So we're going to count as many steps as we just walked. That's 2. So this will be my new L prime. Okay? So L prime will be, it's still negative 9, but now it's a negative 2. So I don't know if you can see what's happening here, but if you notice the x values or the x coordinate stays the same, right? What happened to the y coordinate? Well, take a look at the first one. It was a positive 2, and it actually changed to a negative 2, right? What about on L and L prime? It was a positive 2, and it changed to a negative 2. So the question here is, are they all going to be negatives? Or what's the deal? So I want you to do another one for me now. But now we're going to do K. Okay? Because K, it's on the bottom. Do you see how it's on the bottom section? Right? So what are the coordinates for K? Well, the coordinates for K are negative 4 and negative 6. Right? Okay, good. So what we're going to do is I'm looking for K prime, right? So I'm not going to go count the steps. Okay, I am going to check on that in a minute. But I'm going to see if I can do the rule that we just said. We said that X is going to stay the same. Okay, So we are going to keep it as a -4. But what's going to happen to the next one? Is it going to stay on the -6? I don't know if you noticed, but it was a positive and it turned into a negative. So I'm assuming in this case, if it's a negative, it should become a positive, right? Okay, so again, my x stay the same. And what happened to the y? Well, it doesn't become negative. It actually becomes the opposite. It's like if I multiply by a negative number, right? A -1. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually do it. So if you are right here on K and you walk in towards the X axis, we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6, right? But you're not gonna stop there because remember, you wanna cross to the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is where my new K prime will be. And let's see the coordinates. The coordinates are -4 and a +6, which is exactly what I have. So notice what's happening here. My points are keeping the X coordinates, but the Y coordinate changed to the opposite. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the other ones. So let's see F. Okay, so F it's -9 and 8. Therefore, F prime will be still -9, but the A will become a -8. Okay, and G, okay, I have a -5 and 8. So G prime will be still -5, but the second one, which is the Y, will be a -8. Okay? Okay, so notice how my X coordinate stays the same, right? The Y coordinate is the one that is changing to the opposite. Okay, so let's go ahead and find those points on the graph, and we're gonna come back to the formula in a minute. Okay, so we already have, what about H? Do I have H? No, right? Okay, so let's write it down. Okay, so my H is -3 and a +4, and H prime will be equals to a -3 and a -4. Okay, so notice how my X stays the same and my Y coordinate is changes to the opposite. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish the points. So H will be a -3 and a -4, which is right here. Okay, and what I want to do right now, okay, I'm going to erase the steps that I did. Okay, I just wanted for you to see how they look or how is it that I was going to be going, right? Because I don't want you to be confused with the picture. Okay, so I already have some points here. H, do I have J already? Yes. Do I have L prime? Yes, I do. K, yes, I do have it. F, I don't. So that will be -9 and -8, which is way over here. And this will be F prime, right? G, it's -5 and -8, which is right here. And this will be G prime. Is that right? And I think I have all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing one point. What point am I missing? Okay, so let's go ahead and connect the points. I think we have all of them. So let's go ahead and connect them. And even though it was not exactly the question to draw it, I want you guys to see how this is gonna look like once we have all my points here, right? So it's not gonna be that perfect. And I want you to focus on that on the red color. Okay, so there's the shape right there. Okay, so notice how every point is at the same kind of like line, if you want to put it like that, but on the opposite. For example, F is up here and now F is down here. It's like totally on the opposite direction. Okay, Notice how k is here. That's the original. And look at where the new k prime is. Okay, so it looks a little bit confusing because of the way the picture is, but basically every point is going to the opposite direction. So my rule, if I want to think about my rule, I know that the x stays the same. Is that right? I look at the purple, they all stay the same. The y value actually is like multiplying by a -1. Okay, not just negative y. Be careful with that. It just means that you're going to multiply by a -1 wherever your y value is. Okay, so the answer for this is your answer choice D for this one.